Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious.
Fuck is happening? Oh,
So illogical things are things that are not consistent with the laws of logic, dude, obviously.
yes. Logic is determined by the laws of physics.
Pardon? No, it's not.
Is logic
No.
determined by the laws of physics?
Do you mean determined? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yo. Yo.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like,
Mhm.
how does one know if something is logical?
They don't know for sure. They test it.
Yes, but how do you test logic regarding what?
But you test it based on what other people think.
So, but whatever other people think, is it bounded by the laws of physics?
Yes.
So if we did not know the preconditions of the universe, and if it did have, if it did not have, the laws we know right now, would that be considered illogical?
What? Say that again.
If the preconditions of the universe did not contain the laws of physics in the form we know right now, therefore thinking couldn't exist, right? So, is the precondition of the universe considered illogical?
No. Like, why would the hypothetical lead to that conclusion?
No, it's not a hypothetical leap. I'm
It
asking
was.
you
You said if. You said if, bro. And if, like, literally translates to assume that this is true for the purposes of reasoning. That's
if
called a hypothetical.
okay, I think I said is. So is the precondition of the universe considered illogical?
No, not by me.
Why?
Because it's completely logical. Like, I can explain it.
Yes, but you can explain fucking paradoxes to me as well.
Yes, I can explain them as things that are false, of course.
Things that are illogical as well.
No, but that's not a good analogy. The fact that there are some things that I can explain to you as illogical doesn't mean that, like, the fact that I can explain the foundation of the universe would mean that it was illogical.
So
I'm saying,
whatever that can be explained according to the laws of
no,
physics.
stop, no. What I said was, you can explain both illogical things and logical things, but
Yes.
only logical things have a logically coherent explanation. Right? So, like, when we explain
Yes,
something
but you're
that
saying
is
logic is logical because we define logic that way.
no, I'm saying logic is logical because it coheres to the rules of logic.
Yes, but what are the rules of logic determined on?
We derive them from the consistencies of the environment.
Exactly. Hence the
No, that conclusion does not follow.
okay. So whatever is consistent in reality is logical.
Correct.
What about a recurring dream character?
It's logical in the sense that it's part of your dream. Do you deny that?
I don't deny it, but I'm seeing how you define illogical. Like you're saying you're cherry picking logic for
Think
something.
illogical things are a product of your imagination, mate.
Dude, our imagination, like language, is the product of our imagination.
No, I don't accept that. Language is the product of your attempt to represent the world.
Dude, our imagination is us distinguishing between the past, future, and present.
No,
And
I don't
being
accept that.
able-
Imagination is a specific part of your cognition.
Not true.
That is true. Like, scientifically, imagination is a specific part of your cognition.
What does it do?
It's creative. It envisions what could be.
Therefore, giving you an understanding of time.
No, no, I don't accept that. Time is the case with. Sorry, go, Chris.
Is
So
your
does
imagination not
chimpanzees
part
have
of your
imagination?
abstraction though? Like
Your imagination is not necessarily a logically coherent abstraction, though. Yes, it is an abstraction.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
like I
mean.
would say, the distinction between thinking, like rationality and imagination, is that the product
Rationality
of
doesn't encompass thinking. Rationality is one of the schools of thought.
obviously made, but rationality is a type of thought, and imagination is another type of thought. Imagination can produce things that are not logically possible. Rationality cannot.
Okay. Okay. I accept that. So um illogical things cannot exist in the universe.
Correct. Well, they cannot exist full stop, but yes, correct.
So can things exist without, I mean, can things be without existing?
No.
Like, so things cannot be without existing.
Correct.
Then what about the story that I haven't written down or spoken? Where is that data? Like,
I'm
where is that
confused about your
specific data?
question. In the future?
No, the specific data that is in my mind. Like, I have a story in my mind,
Then
right? And
then it's contained in your neurology, probably.
Yeah, then it physically
yes, but
exists.
it is a part of existence,
Yes, I
nonetheless.
said that. Things
So
that you would say be exist. That's like they're synonymous.
yes, so
Be is the same as exist.
if I think of something illogical,
hmm
it doesn't exist in a illogical format because of my
Yes, correct.
neurology.
Correct, but the thing that you have thought of is not logically consistent outside of your neurology. Do you understand?
So
Like you can think of things inside your head that are not logically possible outside of your head.
yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So logic, is it logic a mutual thing? Is it the act of mutuality?
No, logic isn't about the subjective process of determination. Logic is about the structure of the objective world.
Yes, but the structure of the objective world, right? It
hmm
contains fractals, like the Mandelbrot set.
Yes, I don't see how that's relevant, but yes.
Yes, but it contains fractals which can,
So,
like, is that logically consistent with reality?
yes, of course.
Okay.
Do you not accept that for some reason?
No. Do you like? I'm not holding any position. Wait. So, do you think the null hypothesis is illogical? Therefore, it does not exist.
Pardon?
Do you think the null hypothesis is illogical and
I mean,
therefore it does not exist?
why don't you give me an example of what you think the null hypothesis means?
It's like you basically nothingness.
Yes, nothingness is impossible and thus does not exist, correct?
But is it illogical?
Yes, it's illogical. It's logical in the sense that you can conceive of it logically, as in it's a product of your neurology. It's illogical in the sense that it cannot
Can
exist outside your
something
head.
yeah, so a illogical thing cannot be rearranged in reality.
What?
An
Rearrange.
illogical thing cannot be rearranged in reality.
What do you mean by rearranged, dude?
Everything that is a rearrangement of, like, what is. So
No, I don't really accept that definition.
so you so
Everything that
objectively
is an arrangement of what is. Not everything that is a rearrangement. Why
no,
rearrange?
it's a I say
No,
rearrangement because
no,
of
I
a
don't
temporal
accept that.
property.
No, I
Because of the
don't accept
temporal.
that. I do not
Why?
accept that.
Why?
You're elevating time on illogically. There's no reason for time to be part of an ontological analysis. The things that exist have an arrangement. They do not have a rearrangement.
But they rearrange themselves to.
No, it looks like they rearrange themselves to you because you have a very limited frame of reference. Like you can only perceive one moment in time, and your perception of time is linear. And time itself is not linear. It just seems that way to you.
Yes, time. Yeah, time itself
Yes,
is not
so then what
linear.
I'm saying is that your supposition that the temporality necessitates calling it a rearrangement is false. It does not
But you're,
necessitate that.
but you claiming that a temporal property shouldn't be included is
No,
a
I didn't say it
sign
should
that.
be included. I said it should be subordinated. An ontological analysis doesn't include a temporal property because temporal property is a consequence of ontology, not a product. Sorry, not a
No,
property
that's
of.
presupposing it's a consequence because
No, I'm
causality
saying
is.
stop, Terence. Okay, physics says that temporality is a consequence of physics. It's space time as a joint construct.
Well,
That's a fact. Time
well,
is a
the
dimension of
movement.
space.
No, the movement within space time is the
No.
movement within what?
Time is a dimension of physical reality, right? But
Yes,
it's not but physics is the dimension of the actual reality, not time. Outside of the physical system, time is a property of physics, not a
time.
property of.
Time is
Wait.
required for.
No, I don't accept that. Time is a required consequence of physics. It's a property of the object we call physics. Time is not an ultimate
Time is the
reality.
proper. Time is the,
Are you a
so the
Heidegger, bro? No, I don't accept that.
so the object of physics is basically the expansion of the universe.
No, the object of physics entails the paradigm of space-time. Think of space-time, the properties, right, which we call space-time. They are the thing like the video, the thing you can watch back, but the code of the video, that's physics, all right? So when we say then, for instance, that time exists, what we mean is that there's a timeline of things that happen, and outside of that timeline, things just are.
Okay. I understand that distinction because we introduce time when we have a frame of reference, right? But if the frame of reference the frame of reference doesn't exist, but the frame itself exists nonetheless. Like even if time is not a property, yes, I understand. But like we're talking about causality, and
No, we're talking
if
about
you
ontology, dude.
why that's you're setting the
Because
agenda. Like
ontology. No, dude. You're
you could
talking about.
set the
Wait,
agenda all you
stop.
want.
You're talking about causality. I'm saying if causality is real, it is ontologically real. So we are necessarily considering it as an ontological object.
Okay. And you said the object of physics is the what of space-time?
Yes, the object of physics has a manifestation which we call space-time, correct?
But you do understand ontology is metaphysics, right?
Of course. I've written a paper on the subject, man.
Okay. So like we were talking about things being logical and illogical, right? Do you think
Correct.
metaphysics is logical,
Yes, it is.
but it's not coherent with outside logic?
Incorrect. It is coherent with all logic.
How?
How? I wrote a paper on the subject, mate. It's called DM theory.
Yes, but
You're
You're
welcome to
me.
read.
I know.
You gotta at least
I
answer
have
his
your
question.
paper. I have
You
your
can't
paper.
you
I
can't
haven't
say I
read
wrote
it.
the paper. Oh,
I
you
mean, I
did.
did write a paper, dude. Like, it's long.
Yeah, but
And
can you
if
Yeah,
you
I
can you
want,
have your
explain it?
paper. I haven't
of
read it yet.
course.
Yes.
No, but I think what I'm saying is that the reason that I wrote it down is so that I wouldn't have to explain it ad nauseum. So your question is like, how is physics consistent with metaphysics? Is that the question?
No, I said, how do you have a logical, um, a Venn diagram of metaphysics and physics?
No, there's no Venn diagram. Metaphysics
No,
entirely
you know
entails
what I'm
physics.
saying. In sync, you know what I'm saying.
I don't, dude. Try to be more specific.
Dude, in a Venn diagram, metaphysics and physics, where do they intersect when there is a logic
There is no
present?
intersection. Metaphysics entails physics. They're not two separate objects that intersect. Okay? Physics is entirely inside metaphysics.
But metaphysics isn't inside physics.
That's correct.
So is your data logical object logical?
Yes.
Because it's in the
That's why it's
name.
called data logic.
Yes, okay.
That's why it's called that.
So you think data is like an essential.
Data is the essential substance of reality, and logic, as in consistent relativity, is the essential structure of reality.
But data, like, under perceiving data depends on the
Yeah,
scope
but
of
I'm not talking.
reality.
Wait. What do you think data means, dude?
Information.
No. Nope. Why did I use data instead of information if that's what it means?
That's
Structured
wrong.
information. Structured
Pardon?
information.
No?
Is it then?
No.
Okay, so
Would
data
it be
means
somewhat similar to
uninterpreted
matter?
information.
Oh.
No.
Sorry, say
Yeah.
that again.
It's
Without context.
uninterpreted information. Right? So information is data that you have used to inform yourself. Right? It's data that has been perceived. That's what we call information. And
So
then
data is basically the substance of the objective reality.
correct, yeah.
And
It's
you think
information
there is
before you
a
see it.
okay.
And it's non-contingent.
It's acausal as well.
Yeah, that's what non-contingent means. Or at least acausality is a consequence of non-contingency.
You're like a hyperlogical theist.
I'm not a theist though.
Yes, because you're defining logic and data in, like, I understand what you're
In
trying to do.
atheistic terms,
No. I'm not trying to bring theistic and atheistic here.
I mean, you did call me a theist though.
I called you, but I didn't try to bring it in because I know what you're doing already. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Like, I can't disprove you. I know because you're. Fuck you, man.
That's rude. What did I even do?
Your perception of the data logical object is
Esoteric.
an assertion. It's an assertion. It's a
Of
blatant.
course it's an assertion. It's not esoteric, classless. That's ridiculous.
This is a super esoteric conversation.
It's an esoteric subject. My
Dude,
interpretation is
do you
very
mind
modern.
do you mind if I create a culture on the data logical object?
No, you can do that if you like, man. I've even told religious people who can't let go of the idea of God that they can refer to it as the data logos if they want.
Oh shit, dude! Like, I thought you pulled a Plato, but holy shit!
I did pull a Plato, bro. I don't call it the data logos. I call it data logic. I don't think it is a logos. I don't think it has any consciousness. I think that the abstract realm
The
necessarily
logos doesn't have a
exists.
consciousness.
No.
It is
I'm
a
saying
structure.
but I'm saying I don't think logos is the appropriate word. But I'm happy for other people to use it if they think it is. Right? Like when I say data logic, I mean something very specific. I mean that the world is the way it is, no matter what we think of it, and this is what I think that way is. Like this is the structure that I think is there. And insofar as that is accurate, everybody should be able to agree on it, basically.
What's the process of generation?
There isn't one.
What
It
does the
always
data logical
exists.
object do? Like,
It
does
doesn't do
it do
anything, bro. It
anything?
exists.
It's a
That
structure.
yeah, it exists. That's what it does.
So is it just a structure?
It is a non-contingent structure.
But how do you know something doesn't precede it?
Because logically, there cannot be anything to precede it.
But logic isn't absolute yet.
No, but like I'm saying, like when we reason about what I'm calling it, there is no preceding thing because the way that we justify it existing is because it cannot not exist.
Yeah, so
Right?
basically
If
you're
no, but
saying,
listen. What I'm saying is like, if something couldn't not be there, then it can't be brought into being by anything, and it never has to be because it's always there.
but isn't that like, but it's like you don't have the capacity to know.
Says who? I realize that I can't know for certain, but maybe
Yeah,
you can abstractly reason about it in an accurate way. That's what I'm saying is true.
but how accurate do you think you are?
I'm not sure. I think that it's completely accurate, but of course I could be wrong. And so the challenge is, if I am wrong, then it's possible to show me, because if I am wrong, that means that there is a mistake in my reasoning. If there is a mistake in my reasoning, it's explicable. You can identify it, you can demonstrate it, so do so. I've tried. I haven't been able to find one. It's beyond me at this stage. I have tried extensively to locate the error. I can't find one. Can you?
Where is where is the data logical object located?
Everywhere.
Is it changing form?
No.
Does it exist within degrees of superposition?
It is the ultimate superposition. Everything that is possible exists at once.
But how? Okay, if it does exist, right?
Mhm.
How do you incorporate memory and like observers into the
Well, they
structure?
follow they follow naturally. So like what I say is like the data logical object necessarily entails all things that are possible. This universe is one of those things that is possible.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.